Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Excuse me a moment, let me adjust my microphone. There we go. Spawn north side as the blue Forsythe, we've got deadazztec with 2 Z's. Spawn south side as the black hole hawk, we've got Sixel. Forsythe is of course unchanged from the cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, standard radius, or not standard radius, 5 radius, no expansion, no energy, and only has a day-to-day bonus of just providing plus 20% in a very large radius. Hawk is of course technically a custom CEO in Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars. Has standard boarding cost, only 2 radius, has a large amount of max energy and expansion, 30, 70, 120, with a max energy of 120. His aura is relatively based off of having the standard plus 10 plus his day-to-day passive from previous Advanced Wars game, plus 10% offense, combining those two, do plus 20% offense, plus 10% defense. For his power, he of course can apply that global and gets 1 healing, deal 1 damage, so his Black Wave costs 50 energy rather than standard 60 energy. And his superpower is of course the same, but just Black Storm health and damage. It only costs 100 rather than the maximum of 120, meaning that if he gets to 120, he will have a bit of a 20 energy left over, so you can always just store up extra energy. Additionally, since he can store extra energy, the 50 energy cost and 100 energy cost, since it doesn't ever increase, means you can pop the power more often than the superpower, unless you really want to do 2 damage global. But there is argument to be made, you don't have to. It's better just go for the CO power because it doesn't consume any excess energy. It doesn't cost any more for additional powers, superpowers like previous Advanced Wars. Either way, let's get started. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport, with a decent amount of roads exit, and I'm pretty sure got ruins here. They only provide 1 defense star, but they are also like planes with movement when it comes to tracks or wheeled vehicles. So anti-tank, while they have tires, they also do have their own little unique variation of tires, so they don't get as tired so much. Yeah, that joke was horrible. Of course, got double bikes here. Both players do start out with the airport and with the city there, so you get a lot of initial income, so bike openers are quite common in this map, and probably by default. Of course, if did save some funding there, he may be eyeing to CO one of these units next turn, maybe eyeing for a tank next turn. Got a T-copter by Hawk, and does base skip. So Hawk is going to try to go for the capturing game with the T-copter. That's interesting. Don't really think I've seen early T-copter like this in this map, and Forsythe goes to an APC, so got some unusual build openers for both sides. Recon infantry, so like Hawk is going to eye for a bit of aggression. With the amount of rows on the map, the recon can advance very quickly. Tank infantry, so I have a feeling Forsythe is going to be loaded up in this tank now. Since Forsythe doesn't have to worry about any power charge, he could be loaded up in any unit and be just fine. His aura radius is also quite large, means it doesn't have to be even a mobile unit to get the benefits. I've even seen people just load him up into an infantry unit because infantry units just fast enough to support the front line. And it could be in the back line because its aura is that massive. Mech? Okay, I thought the position there suggests mech, but of course infantry is already there. Got now a Hawk loaded command tank. Now let's give it a strike up there. T-copter dropping off some support. And we do have 2 tanks over here. Bike, infantry, so nothing else at the moment. Right now has 14,000 versus 11,000. Good strike there. But of course got a lot of supporting infantry there. More infantry being pushed forward, so both sides just pushing infantry forward. And there's Forsythe's command a tank, and got a pretty nice boost strike there. Takes out the recon, and gets boost strike onto the bike as well. Chain of good victories there by Forsythe. Hawk's tank's out of range of his opponent's tank, plus even if it does get a shot there, it would be retaliated on by the command tank. Just pushed up north, out of range of these tanks. Now I got a battle copter, but a mech, infantry, and the mech is not on the T-copter side, so maybe T-copter's gonna come over here, not sure. And regarding which direction the anti-air gets deployed in the field, he can simply send the battle copter the other direction. A good deployment would probably be to actually deploy out a battle copter's own to counter the battle copter, rather than trying to go for anti-air. Now, anti-air's in this direction, so Hawk should send his battle copter up north. Some good picks there. He's going to send up north, but it's also in a position where it can just simply go left if he decides to rotate it this way. Excuse me. Don't worry about that. That's something on my end, I think. Artillery, infantry, tank. Anti-air, of course, in now a good position there. Can either go left or right. So the anti-air is ready to intercept the battle copter regardless which direction goes. Very good position there. Forsythe's command tank will probably see a shot there from Hawk's command tank, but got this reinforcing tank here as support. With the amount of infantry fighting up there, Hawk could just actually send his tank up north to get as much power charge, besides engage the tank there directly. Because there's so many infantry engaged there, Hawk could get a lot of power charge if he can manage to get a CO unit up here. Battlecopter, infantry. And of course, let's pull back that tank there, allow his other tank to get a good shot on in, boosted by the command aura of Forsythe. And Hawk will need to fall back his tank, probably get merge onto it. He has 26 energy, so can't be losing it. He can also push forward some units there to get energy charge before falling back to tanks there as well, which may result in him getting enough CO charge for pulling out a power, superpower. In actuality, he can actually get his superpower this turn. If you just slow down and look at him, we've got 9, 4, 9, 10, and 4. So this tank can push forward and strike this tank there, get a decent amount of power charge. Battlecopter can get a good strike there. He has 26 energy, so he only needs to do 24 damage in order to get out his superpower. So this infantry can push forward right here and get 4 damage there. That will put him up to 30 energy. Battlecopter could push forward here and get 60 damage there. That will put him up to 14 remaining. Then a more look at it, probably not, can't get superpower. The wasteland there is causing a bit too much issues, but he can still get some power charge going. Yeah, maybe I overthought about it a little bit. Strikes the bike there, that's probably outrange the anti-air. Oh, we've also got +1 CO zone radius there, which will help out as well, getting more power charge. Still doing a nice little join there. Tank, anti-air, mech. Merge there, very nice. Anti-air gets a good strike there. Nothing to deal with the battlecopter. And Hawk could probably move some tree over here, get a strike in the bike to get some more power charge. He just needs 15 more energy, which just feels very possible. Overall, feels like Forsythe is a pretty good position. Ends turn for 82,000. Hawk starts turn 66, so it's back down to day-to-day difference. Good strike there. 41 energy. 44 energy. Goes back to tank a little bit more, and he can put the infantry on that city. He's got 2 more energy there. Anti-air, tank, infantry. Takes out the battlecopter there, no problem. And does manage to get out Hawk's command tank there. Hawk can either load himself up to a tank or anti-air next turn, or wait and go for the following. But it feels like Forsythe's taking up some pretty good engagement so far. Hawk does a good amount of infantry up here. We'll be able to capture this despicable neutral property up there. 17 versus 17,000 now. Does get a good strike on the command tank with the artillery piece. Notice got the dust here, which will be able to strike this battlecopter no problem. And we'll surround the command tank there, but a lot of 2 health infantry units there, so could be broken out pretty easily. 4 health, 9 health infantry there. Medium tank is probably going to seal himself in the medium tank. Spends every single piece of funding he has. Does surround his duster there, so it won't be able to strike with the anti-air. Neck. Tank. And another tank. 93,000 versus 68. Hawk is starting to fall behind. Does seal the medium tank now. Mech sacks itself there, gets a good damage. Artillery does not take the opportunity to shoot this infantry units, decides to reposition the wasteland. Or the ruins. Remember as well, ruins only have 1 defense star. They're effectively almost exactly the same as planes, other than slightly more traverse nickel wheeled units. But I believe this also is a hiding spot in case there is fog of war. Tank, infantry. Good strike sound here. Mech could sack itself onto the anti-air, which probably wouldn't be a half bad idea. It's not like it will be able to do much. Duster is in range of the anti-air. That's actually not a good position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I miscounted there. Wasteland does slow it down enough. And it's easy to break through that 5 health infantry for that anti-air. Good damage there, takes out the infantry unit there. Command takes up north, it's a nice strike there, and there. Up to 7 energy at the moment. Anti-artillery in a good position, provides some fire support. Got a battlecopter in the region there as well. Nothing to really stop it. Got an anti-air that will migrate up north as well. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, mech. Forsythe has got a war tank. War tank may when I end his turn on top of the HQ, so perhaps gets CO'd, though, like I said beforehand, Forsythe does not really require a powerful CO unit. T-copter should forward, be a bit of a body blocker, battlecopter should go down, artillery should just fall back, maybe on top of the 6 health infantry unit there, but falling back even further is probably not a bad idea. Hawk will get a very good amount of power charges there, and that's for sure. Does not get the power charge there for taking the battlecopter. At 35 energy, so it has +1 CO zone. Tank. Our anti-air. Good picks in center. Hawk does have a tank there. Maybe would have been a good idea to put the 1 health infantry unit on top of the city there to be a bit of roadblock against that tank there. It also does strike the battlecopter. And this anti-air is out of range of that Duster as well. Good picks up there, though the medium tank's still in a good position. Could have sacked the mech to hit the command tank, but does pick off that unit there instead. 48 energy has enough power for a for a power charge. Of course, he'll have to lose the turn of the medium tank, and that's a valuable, powerful unit. Traps the Duster there, while the anti-air take it out in the next turn. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry, they skip. 74 energy, so getting quite a bit of power charge. More power charge, so there the CO zone will be. War tank is pushing its way forward. It could whittle it down with a CO power. Not sure how powerful a Hawk medium tank would be against a Forsythe war tank. Tank, artillery, infantry. Gotta wait until that unit engages. Not great idea. His superpower and superpower can be useful to help whittle it down though. He's missed power charge beforehand though. Looks like Hawk is starting to turn the tide down south. Also, he's trying to use this artillery as bait. Battlecopter, mech, infantry. It's around that artillery piece, so he'll be at 3 health next turn. Being as well, like I said beforehand, he's going to have to consume his turn to pop the power, which wouldn't be half bad. Global 1 healing could be quite nice. And that won't be enough, a whole lot of damage there. And maybe we're going to pop the power in order to get that power charge going to whittle down the war tank immediately. Takes out that unit there, takes out the Duster. Yeah, has enough for a superpower now. And almost fully charged as well. He's now at full power charge. Go for either power or superpower would be a good idea. Two damage global would be very effective. Anti-tank, infantry. Don't know if the anti-tank's a great idea. It's probably just trying to counter the war tank there with it. Answer for 95,000. Forsythe starts to turn 101 or 81. Hawk does also 25 units for 16, which is a bit of a problem. Forsythe needs to get more regular tanks down south. Gets a great strike there and finish off the command tank there. I think Hawk got a little bit too greedy for those engagements. Lose all that power charge there. Artillery will strike the war tank, get some good damage there. Other artillery can strike here. Does CO the anti-tank. Mech to push forward, take out this regular tank there. This last piece of ammo though. It does. Body blocks there to save the artillery a bit of damage, but the artillery's piece is effectively be knocked out. I think both of them will go down next turn. Let's take down straight the war tank. The artillery piece there. Not sure if the war tank can punch through that mech. 6 damage, so nope. Oh, the artillery piece there. Yep. Breaks through up north, takes out all of Hawk's units up here. And just like that, Hawk got knocked out of this region, losing his medium tank like that. And right now, Hawk's at 64,000 versus Forsythe's 87, so as to make that 101. So Hawk's lost a lot. It felt like Hawk had a very firm grasp, but then Forsythe just turned it around. Good damage on that war tank, slowly moving down the artillery. Another medium tank. Bike and infantry. Right now they can pull 17,000 as well, and Hawk's making a pretty good breakthrough over here, trying to flip some properties. Does strike the mech there. If it takes out the bike there, the mech can strike the tank, then the tank can hit the tank. The tank will move in the city, strike it, and the mech will hit it from the waistline while the thing get day-to-day repairs. Mech, recon, and anti-air. Yep, he does do that other idea. Finish off that tank there. Battlecopter strikes the war tank, and he's going to be eating a lot of funds for the repairs. Tank, and bike. Ends turn for 88. Forsythe starts turn for 91. Here can get some shots on the Duster. That's not a massive threat at the moment. Just an annoying threat towards the infantry. A tank could strike the tank there, so that's probably a good shot. 75 damage. Does. It's a good strike there, but not a boost strike from the aura. He goes for his own war tank. Mech and base skip. Here goes down, strikes some infantry there, just causing problems, also blocking the road by being a flapping aircraft. And Forsythe has stabilized the southern region, only just infantry really remains. Does have a tank way back there, but right now Hawkney's got more tanks, and another probably go for tank anti-air to go leftwards. Forsythe's northern flank's not super great at the moment. Forsythe's in serve 112, Hawks are turning to 73. Trying to zone up the war tank there. The medium tank does get a strike there. Sacks the tank there. Doesn't even do a 10% damage there, but did 5%. And blocks the Duster, but does have escape. So he's surrounded, at least from this side. That can still be in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, so it's just out of range. Mech infantry tank. Get some good kills at 37 energy. Forces war tank to strike Hawk's war tank, but it's on top of the city, so we'll get repairs. Now eventually he's down 4 health. This property will be flipped next turn, evening out the income. Takes the bike there, and the embedded infantry takes the anti-air, allowing the battlecopter more free reign. And no possibility of a CO power next turn. It will require too much energy. It won't be able to get it all. Actuality, there's a possibility of a CO power next turn. If he's able to get some good damage on this mech and on the T-copter, he could get a CO power and perhaps heal up the anti-air by 1 health and damage the battlecopter by 1 health. But likely the anti-tank will need to push down south, let the war tank get a boost strike on the war tank. Sacks itself there, gets a good shot there. It's the war tank and decides not to stay on the city there to get day-to-day repairs. Also got a rig here for some odd reason. Going for try and push mechs up north, looks like. It's turning for 94, Forsythe starts turning 110. You can see perhaps the tank right there. Does. Get a boost strike there on that tank. Mech does a great shot there on the anti-tank taking severe hits. One more engine and he'll get his... He has his CO power, pop it. He has to pop it. It has 1 health anti-tank. 3 health remaining. Could have worked slightly there to heal that already that was in range in the damage on the tank. A little bit, yeah. But looks like he needs to pop his power this turn. Goes for a bit of CO energy, but it's not like this anti-tank's going to live this turn. Oh, he's going to try to save it. Does pop the power there. Getting +1 global damage and +1 global healing. And I mentioned +10, +20, +20, +10 global as well, so he does get some global firepower. Battlecopter, mech, infantry, bike. Ends the turn with 85,000 field. Forces starts the turn for 88, so it's pretty even at the moment. But of course, now the turn's in for forces. I was not live talking 2 minutes ago. Oh, sorry. I was wondering about that. And this is why I have a bit of paranoia when talking to chat. It's like, what are you talking about? Am I missing something? Probably. Anti-air mech tank. Of course, the command anti-tank is destroyed. He may just seal himself into the battlecopter down south. Still needs some. Got the anti-air here to engage the duster. Get some good strikes there. Putting tanks on top of cities, trying to get a bit of healing going. Some health is probably enough to just keep pushing forward. Anti-air tank has not redeployed a CO unit. And the war tank is at 7 health at the moment, so it's going to be eating some funds, but it will be very powerful. 88 versus 86, so it's pretty even down. Hawk has stabilized the game. He was on the back end for a bit of time. Mech gets picked off there. Looks like Forsythe has stabilized down south. And Forsythe has now put out his own anti-tank. As was a tank bike. Battlecopter tank pushing up north. Anti-air is out of range of the battlecopter. And he has to seal himself into a regular tank. It's probably a good idea. That's the problem as well. So, you know, sealing yourself into a medium tank or a war tank is very nice. The problem is you gotta spend the entire turn to pop the power of that unit, which is a bit of a loss there itself. Forsythe is starting to put the temporary port there. Hawk can always do the same as well. Now I have to get out a temporary port somewhere. Battlecopter will get a good strike in the infantry. Anti-air push up north. Resupplies the infantry unit there. Filling up their rations. Oh, he actually fully built the temporary airport there. He may be trying to get forward to resupply for the Duster. Takes out the mech there. Good strike there on the mech. Hawks are now at 2 energy. Of course, got the anti-tank in the region. Hawk's war tank is in range of the anti-tank. The mech is as well. Just need to clear out this blocker. Let's see. What will Hawk need to do? You can push forward, do 31 damage there. I think this tank needs to push here to hit the recon or the anti-air, and then allow it to get some boost attacks onto the anti-tank with the war tank and possibly the mech first. Does get a strike there. I disagree with that placement there. I think it should have gone right here. Allow the mech to get a boost strike, or probably won't get a boost strike with the mech, but get the first strike with the mech and then let the anti-tank try to get a shot onto the war tank on the anti-tank. Takes out the anti-air there. Some rounds there. Anti-tank could get a good shot there onto the tank, but will be vulnerable to the full health mech in the back line. Hawks at 43 energy. Another tank deployed in the field. Tank infantry. Mech does receive a shot there from the anti-tank. This mech still has 1 ammo left. In fact, he could actually drain the ammo of the mech by using the recon to shoot it. But then again, anti-tank is still vulnerable to machine guns, so I think a mech machine gun still be effective versus anti-tank. I honestly have no idea. Let's just say a mech trying to machine gun an anti-tank doesn't happen all too often. And looks like the Duster did manage to get all the way back up north rather than utilizing the freshly spawned temporary airport there. Rick can resupply the mech there. Good shot there. We saw that tank at 50 energy. Of course, he seems to turn there. Here's the command tank there. Machine guns the anti-tank. Oh, nope. I disagree that rig placement there. I think he should have resupplied the mech, get its ammo going, because it is actually out of ammo and it's fully vetted. Maybe ready to merge the two mechs together. A full vet mech could be quite nice. Basically a full vet tank that moves slowly. Battlecopter infantry. And he does have 70 energy right now. He could CO this tank there, or the Duster. Loses veterancy, of course. Does CO the tank. And the anti-tank does fall back a little bit. Is that unit there? Command. Oh! I would not have pushed forward the command tank like that. That's dead. Does not take out the anti-tank. Oh, he just straight up sacked his command tank. There's a battlecopter and a tank and a battlecopter there. Not to mention the anti-tank with 2 health can get a strike there. So he just sacked his command tank for no real reason. Why did he do that? That was a horrible play. Come on now, use the power and superpower. He could have... I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe a misclick? I have no idea at this point in time. There was no way that was a purposeful sack. That was a purposeful attack or misclick. because he was like 3 energy away from a black storm, which would have been very nice. I mean, he had a black wave available. In fact, a black wave health regen, not to mention global damage, would have been very nice. He has a lot of veteran units up here, just needs a bit of health. And 1 bit of health will go a long way, such as this war tank going to fully vet war tank going to back up to 10 health. Duster there. A lot of stuff could have gone down because a lot of stuff's was reduced down to 1 health last turn. And a lot of things getting cleaned up down south. He's going to perhaps CO the anti-air and push forward over here. Tank there. Infantry. And tank. Now we've got war tank versus war tank. Of course, this is an unvetted war tank, 1-star defense. Remember, runes are just 1 star. Versus a 9 health war tank that's fully maxed out vet. Of course, this war tank does support of the defense war, so these two are pretty well matched at the moment. Okay, so that Duster. That Duster finally went down. That was a very active Duster. And Hawk may need to just stabilize this region there. He has artillery piece there, but he does not have enough momentum to punch through this region. Just pulls back slightly, and does have to fire support the artillery piece there. Maybe this one a few times I'll say a rocket or 8 tanks up here wouldn't be half bad. Help protect the bridgehead. An 8 tank right here on the city wouldn't be half bad. War tank still in range of war tank. CO's the tank up there. There's a lot of these outlying units off. Very nice. Battlecopter infantry. Anything down south. Which the anti-tank I don't really agree with down south. I think the regular tanks would have been better. I don't think that's a good spot to anti-air or for the artillery. That 5 health mech can be easily punched through by this anti-air, and then the more tank will strike the artillery piece. Takes the battlecopter there. Strikes the anti-air there. Do have a rocket down south for Forsythe. Can't say how effective that will be. The anti-tank is pushing this towards the center. Blue's creating a bit of a death ball in the center of the map as well. Got 17,000 versus 17,000 income. War tank gets on top of the city there, so now get some good healing there. 2-star defense. I believe it's partly bait that they draw the enemy war in the arty range behind the VMech. I think. Oh, you're talking about up here? Possibly. Problem is, mechs, they're nice, but against war tanks, they still are lacking. Mechs do good versus tanks and medium tanks, but against war tanks, they do fall quite a bit. Another war tank by Forsythe for down south. Of course, got the anti-tank over here for Hawk. And looks like Blue's now front shift down south. Which means Hawk can start pushing forward up here. Tank will strike tank. Tank will strike tank. And finish off that unit there. And we'll go for a flip. Cleans up a lot of force down south. Very nice. Tank may just need to find a good position and help stop this advance. Will be a good position for it? I'm not so sure. It's a lot of open ground there. Eyes his opponent's city. We'll have to be careful of the rocket because right now it can't stand in fire next turn because the rocket just needs to creep forward one tile and then he can no longer stand and shoot or he will get hit by a rocket barrage. So I don't think that's a good spot for the anti-tank. It's so easy to just push him out of that region with this rocket. And now, there you go. Even with a good target for the anti-tank to strike, like the artillery or the rig, it has to run away from the rocket. And not to mention the mech and the artillery and the infantry. Yeah, the anti-tank is a little bit too exposed right there. I'll just straight up get overran. War tank boosted by the CO zone and takes out the war tank in a very decisive strike there, giving him 10 energy. That still only counts as 10. Battlecopter advancing. Anti-tank does fall back in good bridgehead, or is the bridge. Infantry in front of it probably wouldn't be half bad spot for one. Infantry here and here. Once the anti-tank up front. Hawk can serve 154,000. Forsythe has 118, so Hawk has quite a bit of advantage. And that war tank was a very, very good pick. Donating 11 more energy to Hawk. He needs to actually keep away from Hawk's command tank. This is going to give Hawk a lot of energy. That's 11, and potentially a lot more up here as well. Hawk could get a power next turn. He'll get enough charge for power, not necessarily deploy out next turn. But I don't think this infantry's good. He's donating too much energy. Don't think he should have pushed for the battle cup like that. I think he should have pushed for... Yep, he missed out some energy there. But he's getting a lot of energy nonetheless. 58 energy, so he has enough for a black wave. And Hawk can start eyeing the HQ here. There is an HQ tank for him to deal with. But now he's inside of a regular tank, which is a lot more expendable, easier to accept losing a turn there than the medium tank. Hawk does have a rocket here as well, trying to lock down this region. A lot of bridges here, all of which are now blocked down by the rocket. Ooh, got pretty close. Hawk should just fall back as command tank. He has two things he can do. He can take some easy engagements over here, get as much energy charge, and then fall back and pop a black wave. Potentially black storm as well, because he got 5, 11, 9, or 18, 28, and possibly 38. Even more energy there as well, before he can fall back and pop his power and or superpower. So we could see Black Storm this turn. Yep, I want to see Hawk try to go for Black Storm. Okay, he pops immediately. I disagree with that. I think he should have got as much power charge and then try to pop a Black Storm, because these are two easy kills he could have got for a free power charge. It's something that's common in Advanced Wars by Web, but since this game is not necessarily one where you store power charge, I think a lot of players don't have that mindset. No offense to the player. But he does pop Black Wave, now he gets plus 20, plus 10 global, as well as, of course, 1 damage global. Lots of good kills there, making clean sweep up north. Going to receive a hit there for the anti-tank. All the way up to this tank there. Hawk right now has 163 with a state of day still available. $175 versus 78 horses in an extremely knocked position. You can CO his 8 tank does not. Oh, his CO unit is still down there. Never mind. and does go ahead and resign there. This Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay.